welcome back. This week we're going to be running through our predictions so far and how they've been going and how they're so much better than Bob's. And then we're going to be doing our draft grades from round 1 to 3.
Statistically, that we're not doing better than Bob, but
No, probably not.
they're better than Bob's.
They're 100% better than Bob's.
Yeah. I'll provide a timestamp for when the draft rankings come in, if you don't give a shit about our preseason predictions or running through this, but yeah, you guys will see.
All right. Whose standings do we have first?
Well, I put going straight to the standings. I put all of our standings together. This is V's mock draft. This is mine, and this is Jay Hunt's.
Yo!
You know what? We'll start. Oh, yep. Jay Hunt is here. We'll start with the BL. I like this home.
Houston is cracking it, dude.
Yeah,
oh my god. I saw I had a huge misread on Houston there.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now.
So yeah, we only one of us had Atlanta above Houston. We'll talk about Atlanta later. But Houston's team is insane. Cody Warrington is going ham. Quick little look in. Matt Ramos has 80 contact. Oh,
434 average.
Yeah, no, it's a bit much.
Whoa! When did this guy come into the CBA?
Really?
Yeah, I'm unaware, honestly.
Damn. It was 2 seasons ago, so I guess that's fair. But no, he's
pick though, yeah, great value there.
Insane. One of the best leadoffs in the game. You know, he's gonna get on base. He's always just gonna be on base. Not from walking, but
in one
yeah.
way. Well,
yeah.
He did pick up that Zach Carr trade. Wow, I don't think it was a bad trade for Houston at all. I think it was a good trade for both you guys.
Yep,
honestly,
I agree.
He found his ace, and to get
you
take your ace at the 1-8. He got his ace trading.
And
the 1-8,
what's interesting that I was doing a little bit of research yesterday because I was like, oh, I for my competing year next year I need a high stuff starting pitcher. If you look at the starting pitchers who have 65, or pitching in general, who has 65 stuff or above and above 50 stamina, that's it. Control could be shit, everything else. There's less than 10 starting pitchers in the entire game who have that.
Wow.
So, as much as, I still think Mike may have won the trade getting Samson in that Houston spot, or I guess trading up, but essentially use those 2 picks to get Samson at the 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather have Samson than Carr in this league. Carr is playing a lot better than I thought he would. So still a very good move for a TOC contender this year.
I think Carr would struggle a little bit in the PL if he was back in the PL with the home run.
Someone who will be competing in the TOC this year.
Yeah. Yes. All right, going on to our third. We all of us had Atlanta either in the 2 or 3, and as we know, Atlanta has
what's going on with Atlanta?
Not done anything.
Well, we see they're not really scoring runs. Sixton scored runs.
Really average, really mediocre. We were really impressed by his pitching.
And the pitching's doing it.
Doing very well, but a whole lot of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess even in the BL, you need somewhat decent hitting to compete.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this landscape of the BL.
Did he drop down Cannell finally?
Cannell's not even in that lineup.
Yeah, he had. Look at his stats in the PL real quick. He was kind of single-handedly pulling his team down.
Ooh.
Yeah, he is only 18, so
yeah,
he's got time to develop and stuff like that.
A little premature. You don't want to bust too early on someone so young.
Let me. Yeah, 100%. Let's go to Mexico City real quick. Just see his players.
Real quick, one thing on Atlanta. I will say Atlanta started off he was 15 and 21 at one point. So he has had a good month.
Yeah,
this is really nice to see.
And sometimes it's just team chemistry goes up. Those wins start going up as well.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll take a peek.
Just a real quick peek. I know you guys are sick of us fucking coming over Mexico City. Dude, what the fuck?
Dude, strained groin. If he was propped up on the massage bed like Justin Tucker, I would be doing anything he asked.
Yeah, there would not be a lawsuit filed, huh?
No.
Let's see how Parrish is doing this year.
Parrish is doing well.
This 72
this
fit minus.
Odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's
if there's any CBA
new.
baseball nerd who knows why WPA is always down on starting pitchers, let us know.
It's probably because of all this.
Doesn't need to be. Don't just look it up. Look up wins probability added statistic, and you'll understand.
But I mean, Mexico City really had the tank of a lifetime and a couple great trades. He's a 4-headed monster and an actual ace here. So
you know what's fucked? Mexico City, no, Jack,
yeah.
J-Dubs had the tank of a lifetime. And you know who benefited from that? Oh, one of the greatest CBA fucking GMs of all time in Dustin. Okay, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Give him Mexico City. What about this insider shit? I know they're Dustin's boys with all the OGs.
Yeah, exactly.
Some insider
probably asking
shit.
them what the devs are gonna be, what the new meta is gonna be.
What did Duncan say the other day? He was like,
yeah, it's gonna be DC, Toronto, Detroit, and Dustin.
Yeah. And
dude,
that's
as a team that wants to compete next year, I'm not fucking with it.
You know what? I might do the scaredy bitch thing, and once all 4 of them are up, I'm gonna fucking Homer Simpson meme out of there.
And dude, that's discounting SLC too,
yeah, and Carolina,
and Carolina, exactly, and Galveston, and Phoenix too, and Tommy. Tommy,
Tommy.
We'll get to Tommy and how wrong we were about
Galveston.
him. So. Yeah, go for it.
Up next, a lot of us have that Denver, Miami, Minnesota. Yep, we all kind of have in the next few spots. I had Denver, Miami, then Minnesota. So let's take a look at that. Denver, Miami, then Winnipeg. Yep. I thought Winnipeg was going to do well. I think all of our top 7s were correct.
Yeah.
Minnesota's underperforming quite a bit. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, his hitting kind of
sold.
sucks. But he did sell, but his hitting
Who did he sell?
Awful at the moment.
He sold a lot of guys.
He did buy Ibarra from me, so he actually has a pretty legit bullpen now.
Yeah, his pitching is still. Brahmer, Ibarra, Justin Mitchell, Kenjiro,
Yeah, this is pretty cool. He's pretty good.
And Pabon. No, he kind of sucks.
I honestly still think.
He got Brad Heist too. 6.75. But Kenjiro with a great fit minus, but in the BL posting a +4 ERA on an ace like this is something you don't want to see.
That's just something where you got to check his defense. Maybe.
I was about to say it'll definitely be reflected in his defensive efficiency.
But overall, that's what you see. ERA 8th, case 6th, defensive efficiency 9th. So.
Snaps to the guy who was on auto draft the entire draft. But whoever you are, Winnipeg, forgive me, I do not know who you are. You're definitely not listening to this right now.
Chris Hawley. Who the hell is that?
That's the...
Oh, dude, he got him on... Oh, wait.
It's not... Oh, no.
Oh.
No, that's the Vancouver Hawley.
Yeah.
I don't know who Chris Hawley is.
Who's the other Hawley?
He's on Philadelphia right now.
Caleb Hawley.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
They're brothers.
Good shit, Philly.
Good shit, Vancouver. That's a loan.
Yeah. But, this is a good loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to them. Yeah, good shit to them. To Winnipeg, sir, ma'am, whatever your pronouns are. In between.
They, them.
They, them. It's yeah.
And then the bottom 3 really rounds it out.
Austin, nice tank job. You're not on pace, sir.
That's 61 games. He's exactly on pace for 28.
Yeah. So you should figure that out. Sharing the same RD as the crew is kind of crazy. Hopefully,
dude, the crew having a +4 Pythag too.
Austin, what
insane.
You need is to take some of that crew Pythag because it's going to be really funny if if you have the 1-2, if you have the 1-3 this year because you have 28 wins.
1-6, right? You get dropped out of the first round.
It's only a spot. You get bumped a spot under
okay.
what
That's
you
not
finish. It's really sad that Brian Jack is just rotting away here on the crew.
I remember when all three of us were trying to get him from Denver when the old Denver GM just was not responding.
Yeah, New Orleans. Is this Daddy? Daddy?
I think, yeah.
Daddy? Yeah. Well, we'll go into his draft rankings pretty soon. I don't really want to look at Seattle or Vancouver.
You don't have to.
I
just want to say I'm the only one who
this.
had me 8th. You guys had no faith, but...
Yeah.
Proud of it.
Yeah, I saw you. You did a lot of taking there at the end. So we were good with the 1, 2, 3, except for V, and then.
Well, not really. Atlanta's out.
Well, yeah, but I guess.
I think Atlanta will work its way back into the 3 spot. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think Denver's gonna fall a little bit. They loaned out Lokesh.
Yeah, I was low on Miami. Miami is really good.
Miami's gonna.
And I was really high on Minnesota for no reason.
Yeah, Miami's gonna come up. I saw Miami. Choco, nope.
Yeah, Choco.
Yep, Choco. I saw you. Look, I even got some notes for you too. I don't remember what the notes are. What did that? Shitty pitching? Who cares when you have Milligan, the best second baseman? Yep. Jay Stevens. Oh, yep. He's the one with all the second basemen.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Let's go to the SL real quick.
Going to the SL.
Oh, we all had
got Detroit.
Philly, Cleveland.
Detroit, Philly, Cleveland. Everyone. I had Cleveland above Philly. Other than that, all the same. Heading over.
Detroit, Boston.
Shout out Boston.
Philly,
and Philly down in 7th?
And Cleveland are 6th and 7th.
Wow.
Eat your heart out, us.
Wow, I was going to say we're not.
I mean, it's all close, though. It's a 4-game split to Boston in 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Detroit's running away with it.
I'm really surprised Detroit isn't first, though. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this team is... Nick Hoppel, interesting one, too, but it's really worked
He's
out.
batting .319 with 30 avoid K.
With 40 contact.
It's just because when he doesn't strike, he hits a home run. Or a double.
Yeah, on pace for 27 home runs.
Wait.
Insane.
Wait, okay,
Over
I'm sorry.
50%
I'm
of
sorry.
his hits are extra base hits.
I'm sorry. Dude, look at this. This cat has 9 triples.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In 60 games.
I mean, it makes sense.
Can we talk about how stupid that is?
Like I think he'll be able to maintain like the leader in triples for years, even in the PL.
Yeah. He's gonna win a fucking.
But yeah, Uphold. Yeah. I was iffy on this as like the 2nd pick in the draft last year. I guess I was wrong. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. Check out his defense fielding stats real quick. Can you do that?
I don't know how sustainable it'll be though.
Average.
Yeah, average. I mean, that's
all you need.
That's all you need. Like that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doesn't really have the arm to play short, but also doesn't have the range. So. Yeah. No. Beautiful. I said this was the steal of the draft, last year. And
proven out to be, yeah.
You know what?
177 OPS plus is insane.
Yeah. Well, I guess I only told Joey this is the pick of the draft or steal of the draft, but I could pull up the read receipts if you guys really want to. Anyways, this guy's stupid. I don't remember him at all. Crazy pick.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is one of those guys that you look at him like when you draft when Joey drafts him and you're like, wow, this is a stupid pick. He's not going to turn out. And then at the 111 too. Yeah. Now he's Jimmy Simmons.
Like this is crazy.
Yeah. And he's it is it was a pretty crazy pick.
And then
Josh Marshall's coming back a little bit. It's nice to see that. He's one of those really weird looking guys. He got that E mold.
I really like that rating profile though.
Yeah, it's
really like Malugan, don't you?
You got.
I mean, that's like what you hope will will turn out like.
But yeah, no, we can stop jacking off to.
And then
oh my god. Okay, we can.
Yeah.
Unzip again.
I don't know who Travis Holsopple is. I'm not gonna lie.
He picked him last year
he's one of the best.
He was like
relievers.
a late first round pick, which I could not believe this dude lasted till like the 28th pick last year. Like he was.
Pennington
that was crazy.
took a little hit,
but
he definitely took
still
a hit.
lefty. He's an 80-80 to OSA. Like,
But this is...
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
65
noticeable.
to 55 is...
Yeah.
Do you remember
I mean, that's what I think Detroit was mainly focusing on when he said, like, TP25 engine really, like, tanks people when they're, like, 24 or 25.
Yeah.
Do you remember what he traded?
Yeah.
What did he trade to get that starting pitcher?
Pennington. He drafted him, I think.
No, he traded with Toronto, I think.
No, this was Toronto was a loan.
Yeah.
If Toronto had his hands on that first overall pick,
I see. Yeah, I
probably
forgot
would
about that. Yeah, I had it backwards.
died.
He also picked him last year in the late first, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, a crazy bullpen, good starting pitching.
Yeah.
Like, it's really shy. Like, I don't know. Detroit is going to be scary in the TOC just because of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Moving on to our, you know what? I guess where did
we're just screwed.
Boston, I had 4, you had 5,
and
Jay Hunt had 5. Yep,
Can we check
Boston's
him out?
team's good.
Yeah,
but again, it's not crazy better than any other team in the middle of the SL right now, which is pretty cool to say.
Yeah, I mean the 2 to 7, like their games back being less than like the space and seeding is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially halfway throughout the season.
Yeah, he's got a good team put together.
Yeah, some good hitting. Even though like if you go to his team home real quick, like the hitting, you know what? Yeah, I guess it's definitely above average. But fifth in runs scored is what I was gonna say is like it's really his pitching. Look, we're looking at his hitting, but it's pitching second in runs against, third in starter and bullpen ERA. It's a really good defense because if you scroll down here, he's 8th and 5th. So like this is just a testament to like fielding actually matters.
Yep, defensive efficiency one, and
Can you check out Berlin real quick?
If I can recall, who?
One of his pitchers, Berlin. He's having a season. His third.
One second. Okay. I think I definitely made it a note in our preseason predictions. He has an insane defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, building around like Blake White, having a really good catcher with a good frame rating. You know, that's huge. It'll heavily inflate your pitching. But yeah, he really just built all around good defense here, which is why you get pitchers like
Dan Berlin having a 72 fit minus.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Yeah. You know what's I feel like if this guy is righty, like he's like a 100 something fit minus. And it drops 30 points because he's a lefty.
Lefties are OP in 25.
I feel like lefties have been OP forever.
Yeah. Since I've like joined the league and
I feel like
the 22
more so.
engine or something.
I feel like more so. I feel like it used to just be like BL.
It's always been like the high movement lefties.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, great team.
Oh, check out Ruben Gomez. Do you remember that guy?
He took it a little bit.
Yeah, that one pitcher of the year is just hanging on.
Yeah.
But we thought he was gonna be a reliever at some point.
Yeah,
I think his stamina was went up or something.
Yeah, it did. He definitely blossomed.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There was like one sim whenever you had Ruben Gomez, you were like, what the hell happened to Ruben Gomez?
And one of my other favorite names, Any Taiwanese people in the CBA that could tell us how to
actually say this name?
Yep. All right. Next up,
the bottom of the SL, we had Cincy. I mean, we didn't really talk about, I guess, Tampa Bay, Phoenix, Cincy, Orlando, and LA.
Before we leave the SL, can we just check out what's going wrong with like Philly and Cleveland? Like, I feel like since we have them so high, like other players just like underperforming. I haven't done a lot of digging in the SL, but
I think we should also spend like a little bit on Cincy and Indy.
Yeah, I guess LA and Orlando.
Well.
We kind of had you there.
All right, what's going wrong? What's going wrong here? Okay, we got Caleb Hawley, beautiful. He's doing well, but you know.
But it's hitting. 8th in runs scored,
Wow.
7th in average, 7th on base percent, 8th in home runs. Like the only thing he has
Abraham
going for him.
fell off. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He mentioned that in the chat that
Yeah.
he drafted an outfielder.
And I mean that's like 60 range.
Whoa!
Right
Go
there.
back. Negative 1.7 WAR this season.
Oh my god!
Holy
and
shit.
that has to be because he's playing in center as well.
But like at some point, something's got to switch.
9 point. Ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
oh
a
my god.
not
Hey
nice...
Philly, if I'm you, I'm texting Adam about Agenbrod right now.
Someone.
Yeah. You should text Adam about Eigenbrod. Ooh, I would love to see that DM exchange. We should just like I wanted someone to hijack it and sprinkle the word Trump into that DM and see
Sprinkle the word
happens.
Tariffs in there.
Hey, all I know is I can't import snooze anymore. Fuck Trump. Anyways, pitching.
It's there. It's pretty solid pitching. Second starter ERA and first bullpen ERA.
Look at the defensive efficiency.
But that's what it's going to be.
Imagine how heavily Josh Alexis is pulling down that defensive efficiency. Like you need a center fielder, dude. Ooh.
But he just
the Riggy is doing.
I feel
well.
like a 264 average with this contact is just like what is. He'll probably have a better second half of the season.
But I mean, if you look at his pitching though, like it's the strikeouts as well. Like if you're not striking people out and you have a bad defense, like with Tom Weigel being your second in strikeouts with 45 stuff, like you're not expecting this guy to be your strikeout guy. You're expecting this like you build a good defense around this guy. And he has a good fit minus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's what's wrong with Philly right now.
It's just defense.
Really just his defense.
Just all boils down to
because these like a guy like Harjit, like look, it's not his fault. The fit minus is there. Like I'm sure if we look at these pitching stats here, we're not going to see something like crazy horrible in form of oh, you can't see fit minus on here? What the fuck?
Pitching stats 1.
Oh, okay.
Just
got bit by FIP. You know, like these aren't bad FIPs.
No,
like there's a lot of good
starters.
starters.
Yeah.
But I
They're
mean,
all like 4 and under, which is a good FIP. Like anything under 4 is really good.
Yeah.
Lack,
And you look at their ERAs and
man, Lack kind of fell off. That sucks for Philly. I mean, maybe that has happened.
but he does have Beckett. Like Beckett's playing really well,
Mm-hmm.
even with like a sub 3 ERA, even with like
Yucky.
yeah, he's really nice. So the pitching's there, Philly. If you get your defense up, I think you can make a climb
And I don't think
maybe make a push to the
Look at
3.
shortstop.
I don't think like the defense. I mean, you can figure out some things kind of like with defense. It's not. It's basically like I feel like Philly could make a few minor changes and start winning some games. So
Agreed.
All right, to Cleveland.
Just gotta
what the
focus
hell?
up a little bit.
Wow.
Cleveland, what are
7
your
games under.
issues? Defense.
Defense,
And last in home runs.
last
Wow.
in home runs, and last in ERA. It's just pitching.
Wow.
I mean, obviously that as we've been, the trend is defense and ERA are a little bit correlated, but
Rockwell only having 5 home runs is kind of surprising.
Steve. Come on, Steve.
Corbin's having a down year. He's died a little bit. I mean, he's first in stolen bases, and I mean that's why you have somebody like Corbin. But that's the only thing he's got going for him at the moment.
Well,
He does have a 1,000 OPS.
Yeah. Kind of a down year when you think about it. I don't know. I didn't look at his stats. I saw his ratings go down a little bit, and I was like, he's probably having a down year.
353 average.
Yeah, no, he sucks. God awful, actually.
Whoa, okay, this is one to point out.
What the fucking TCR?
I mean,
Dude, come on. Give me one of these guys.
Barris looks fucking solid. He's just like
5th round pick. Wow.
700 OPS. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, at 84 OPS plus with a 1.7 projected WAR, though, like one of the only players whose his defense is carrying him at the moment.
Wow, Hartman's having a bad season.
I think he got pulled up too early.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what?
Looks like he should be in res.
There's some trends. Oh, Jesus. He didn't want to be in res.
I understand now why he wanted to pull him up, but maybe one of those things where I know it might hinder the development, but maybe you gotta, sink your losses and just put him back down. But
yeah, quickly through Cincinnati. Good job.
Snaps there. Good offense.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good, and I think this is a lot of guys.
Brian Duggan's having a great year.
Yeah,
a lot of guys
crazy.
playing really well over what they should.
How does Duggan have the same amount of home runs as Rockwell? Like, it's just.
Yeah.
And with
Might be
45
park
power.
factors or something, but it's baseball.
And just like settling into this year, things OOTP, we've kind of seen it kind of levels itself out.
So here might be the difference because McGreeche's pretty solid. Yeah, it's like the defense. Like
what the fuck?
And he's not putting anything in.
He's helping him win though.
But he's helping him win.
Yeah.
Like these kind of guys are the difference defensively. You got a good
third defensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So
and
take
even
some notes.
if you look at Houchins at second.
Yeah.
Great second baseman.
Great second baseman. 2.5 projected WAR with 88 OPS plus.
Yeah.
See, these are the guys that make teams. You know what I mean? Like, talk about, player to player to player, but who's really going to make that impact to make you a number 2 team instead of a number 7 team?
Shout out Monty for being Eskimo Bros with me and Jackson on Brian Duggan and Tad Houchins.
Mm-hmm. We love
good team,
Eskimo
good defense.
Bros.
It's just an all around one of the better SL teams when it comes to just good at everything. So he's built a good team.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess Carl Duvall's the only one, but no other really big hole in his starting pitching, and 2 bullpen pieces with really good ERAs as well.
Yep. Wow, this guy's a on base machine.
Dude, there was a guy in the draft with 80 avoid K and 80 I. He had in college he had a 200 something average and over a 400 OBP. It was insane.
He's just getting on base by any means possible, other than hitting the ball. So snaps to you, Cincinnati. I hate to be the downer, but not really built for the PL, but it's okay. These two will make it. You guys got some more time to develop, and then quickly through Indianapolis.
Missed that hitting, dude. The offense is insane.
Yeah, offense is insane, and these guys are throwing the ball in the fucking box, which is good.
Yeah.
Hey, D'Amico's having a good season. It looks like we kind of.
Oh, I wanted D'Amico so
D'Amico.
bad.
I
wanted
2
him so
seasons
bad.
ago, he put Koshi on the market on the trade block because he wasn't having a good year. Just because if you go to Koshi, his contact's amazing, but his power is awful, and he had a down. I don't know when he put him up. I guess you had him, but I think it was 2082 or something like that. But he's having a great season this year.
Yeah.
Gold Glover at first base that Mike loves.
Well, bro is built for the Silver League. Look at all these awards: Silver Slugger in the Silver League, Silver Slugger in the Silver League, Silver Slugger in the Silver League. That's just because he's the greatest Silver League. No, he's one of the greatest Silver League players that we've ever seen. I mean, we look at the batting stats. He's only played 3 seasons in the Silver League.
But when he does play in the
Silver League,
dude, but look at that though. He's put up combined. Dude, he has 130, 143, 144, 145 OPS plus in the fucking.
And 13.7 WAR.
Wow. Okay, yeah, he's an SL merchant.
Yeah.
Okay, I was right. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Ochoa.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Kind of having a bad season.
I mean, it's
no.
What you like it with a 301 average. I mean, hopefully you want him to hit a little bit more home runs.
No, I mean the offense is good, but is he DH in him or something?
The
no,
defense
he's just shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Okay.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. But no, good team. I like Cody Andy.
He has Brian McKenna too at short, which I think.
Yep, defensive efficiency as we see.
Oh,
it's bad.
Lord.
But hey, his hitting is definitely
makes up for it.
But yeah,
I mean, we don't really have to go over LA and Orlando.
Yeah, well, we didn't think LA was gonna be that bad. Well, did we?
I think we did.
Oh yeah, we did. I did not. Where did I? Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, we all had him.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to check out Tampa?
Wow, dude, we all had Cincinnati so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. I had Cincinnati last.
The
wow.
disrespect.
Fuck, sorry, Monty.
Yeah, Monty, you got us there.
It's just because I hate Skyline. I'm sorry. And since I've been to Cincinnati twice, and it's just a fucking dump.
Bro, that's not true. They're renovating the downtown. The Cincinnati's getting a lot better.
So many people get shot there, though.
He hates Ohio. This guy hates Ohio.
I love Columbus.
Okay, you wanna check out Tampa real quick?
Yeah, and then we go to the
love
PL.
To. And then, Tampa Bay.
I mean, just kind of mid in everything, which
Evan
puts him
Langley's
at 5th.
Playing well.
Yeah.
He's hitting the ding.
Shout out Langley, man.
He's dinging the hitters.
He's never won an award. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah. Nelson Fernandez is.
He was stuck in the PL for a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say Langley's kind of always just good, never great, but
Somebody should just
now.
roll Nelson Fernandez into his
grave or retirement.
Yeah.
He's still going though with that 30 avoid K. He's
Dude, how is he predicted a 1.2 WAR with a 181 average?
He's not avoiding the K though.
I guess his first base defense is just so good.
Yeah. He's playing him at
-1.
Second. He has a 2.5 at second.
What is this? How does this make sense? How does this make sense?
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right, sure. Okay. I don't want to look at this anymore.
Kilgore, if I remember, is pretty
yeah.
solid. Yeah. Wow. His stuff took a hit. 83 foot minus. Oh, yeah. Bad scouting report in March.
Yeah. Cool. Ooh.
Check out Murphy Barnes real quick. Looks like he's having a pretty good season.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We like to see this.
Over 350 average.
We're seeing a lot of 10 through 20 picks turn out really nice for these SL teams. I like to see this.
Yeah, there's good value
drafting.
in the
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the PL. Let's see what we got first. Toronto, DC. Here we go. Here we go.
Shout out,
I
Jay
swear
Hunt.
to God, do not. Okay, we can
I will
celebrate
glaze the
you.
fuck out of Mark. Come on, you guys, the fact that you guys all didn't have Mark first, he won the PL, what, 18
He didn't win.
of
I don't
the
think he won
last
last
20
year.
seasons?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, I wanna show you guys.
Let's
something.
zoom out a little bit. I don't know. It was an easy choice for me having Mark. Also, his pitching is fucking insane. So.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I wanted to pull something up, but I don't think I can pull it up right now. Anyways,
But yeah, so we got DC, DC, Tommy, and SLC.
Marin, the GOAT.
Jesus.
He's struggling a little bit, but it's not surprising that he's struggling.
No,
He'll be insane next year and after that.
You know what? He's not really struggling at center field, which I think is impressive. For a rookie, if you can come in and at least
he is
league
Mr.
average.
Magnificent.
Yeah, this is kind of fucked,
I was
dude.
gonna say,
and the fact that
check
he
out
can
his
hit,
splits.
dude, he could hit, dude. He
We
could hit.
love Tony Marin.
He can hit against lefties and righties. And
Yeah.
he's a lefty. He's hitting
that'll
worse.
catch up.
He's hitting worse against the handed pitching that he does better against. So that's
it'll catch up. Yeah.
That's a good sign. Much like this absolute beauty of a player
Oh my god.
putting up insane stats this
We're not
year.
even at you yet.
Look at that, dude. He's a lefty and he's hitting 157 OPS plus, dude. Look at that. He's okay. Sorry.
I want to see when you get to your team. I want to see his BABIP real quick, but we'll move along.
He be bad-bipping.
Check out the pitching.
He's
good.
pretty good.
Victor Malicio, Kopecky, and Nash, and Castro, it's insane.
Yeah, I forgot he got this guy.
Yeah. 60 mil. Going all in,
yeah.
but
Bag.
only for this year though.
but
and then
this
after
is
that,
a really good
it's gonna be great.
contract.
Yeah, he had money to spend. I like
This
it.
is the way to go. There are a lot of guys in the draft this year that kind of look like this too, which is
He was
cool.
drafted last year late too.
Yeah.
I can't believe he filled a mark.
Well, of course he fell to mark.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
They just fall to mark.
We've seen also now with Brahmer going early first last year or 2 years ago, and Monroe going earlier this year. I think relievers are just gonna start going earlier off the board because people are gonna start seeing the value in
It
them.
makes sense. The guys Detroit got and the one that Mark
Yeah.
got should have went earlier last year, but I digress.
All
There's a lot
right.
of good players drafted above him.
Who did not make the top 4 for us? Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago
Tommy.
did it.
I had Tommy.
We had him 6,
in the
7, 8.
relegation. Okay, by the way, we did our rankings before he got Tessier. But
It doesn't even matter.
as I will show you guys, Tessier is not even playing well at all.
Yeah, so it's not even Tessier.
So it's
Tommy,
just,
what are you doing to my man? What's going on in Chicago?
But again, great defense on this team with Cologne and Rogan.
yeah.
Well, he did make the comment in the chat that he prioritized defense kind of with this rebuild, and it's really showing.
And first in runs right now is first in runs too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hager's having a
Dumont,
really good season.
only like 80 range center fielder, like that's playable that I know.
Yeah. Dude, he's not even 80%. That's like a B-, dude.
A 1.1 projected WAR with a 38 OPS plus is insane.
Yeah, I love he's like flaunting his defense shit with a guy with 65 range at shortstop, which that's all positive.
Yeah.
No, I think he's playing him at shortstop.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
No, he's playing Cologne at shortstop. Rogan's playing second.
Shit.
Yeah.
I forgot he had Tony Cologne. Dude, Tony Cologne's gross.
He's what I want Frank Price to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll have
Price should be a little bit better defensively, but
yeah.
And a little worse offensively, so hopefully it evens out a little bit.
Tony Cologne's gross. Tommy beautifully put together a team.
Yeah.
Like, and there's nobody.
Great leadoff. Like, there's not the leadoff hitters are like becoming lost. Like good leadoff hitters, in this game are becoming lost. So having somebody like Gene Taylor is really, really nice.
And I love that you're doing all of this without, like, superstars. I mean, of course you have Tessier and Monahan, but, like, Tessier is, like, a blue-collar, like, you know, I mean...
He's too young to be, like, a superstar yet.
And, like, Brock Monahan's, like, nothing special either. Like,
dude,
I wonder what the tariff was like on him.
I will say this about Tommy, and, like, I promise this is true. Whenever I was doing my rankings, I had you 6th, but I was like, man, Tommy... I think I told him this, I was like, Tommy... making the top 4 was not surprising at all. Like, he has a team good enough to make the TOC. I guess I just thought that, like, Toronto and Carolina would be better, but...
This was my main thing.
Yeah,
I really didn't think, but his pitching is being inflated just like, you know...
Burford has a 3.83... Can you look at Burford real quick? I don't understand this at all.
It's even like it's not even the fielding too. 98 fit minus.
Yeah. He's having a good season. The vibes, the mojo is just really good in Chicago.
Yeah,
right
minor league deal.
Yeah.
Insane. And then obviously having like that top 3 bullpen is crazy as well. And then obviously McLaren's top 3 in ERA right now and will always be top 3 in strikeouts. So having McLaren is insanely nice.
Yeah. But no,
really good defense. Just
good shit, Tommy.
Good team. Salt Lake
up next. I mean, Salt Lake, yeah. That's
perennial.
This is about
perennial PL team.
Yeah.
Trades well, drafts well.
I wasn't a huge Emmanuel Sutton guy, but he's playing really well.
Yeah. Hey, this is a guy that this is how you want them to develop. Mm-hmm. Like, if you can get up to that 60 home runs against...
I mean, a starting pitcher like this at the 123, like, really, really nice.
No, that's good. And, you know, yeah.
I remember passing on him because I was like, I just don't think he's going to pan out. But I was wrong on that.
Hey, but, you know, that's like that 1 and 2 shot with pitchers like that.
Mm-hmm. Can we look at Terrell?
No, and Joe Cole, obviously.
Terrell Thomas kind of fell off.
He went from an 80-80 to just a 80-80 with, like, slightly worse content.
Dude, how does he not have a good BABIP? Like, can you... Like, he has 17 doubles, 16 home runs. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like that is good BABIP. He's averaging an extra base hit on more than half of his...
I mean, that's
almost.
Cat power, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but, like, I mean, extra base, like, it's just good, you know?
Let's keep going.
And his average on base percentage.
Go to Joe Cole. I think the best pitcher right now.
Yeah, Joe Cole.
Like.
Yeah.
Insane. 74 fit minus with 10.6 Ks per 9. Like.
Yeah.
Insane.
80 stamina too. Like
that's
he's just
actually
good at everything.
Now, John Knapp actually is the best pitcher, who is also on
SLC.
Yuck. Yeah.
52 fit minus.
52 fit
minus
in the PL. Ugh. He barely gives up any. He doesn't give up any home runs. He's humble about it. Unpretentious.
I really like this guy. I think he's a pretty solid pitcher.
Yeah, dude, he throw that thing hard.
No, his whole team just stacked.
How does he have 50 stuff with... I guess you need more pitches or something. I don't know. I don't understand stuff. Cool. Isn't this guy?
Oh, look, he's rocking the just all middle relief pen.
I fucks with this.
I mean, Penn's not doing amazing, but I guess the starters really do make up for it.
It's because you're letting Jordan Melendez. I would at least do like avoid or like use less often.
Well,
like,
he might have that.
I think the thing with his bullpen though is like we've seen all the aspects about his team. I think with a good pen, he'd be up there with DC challenging him.
Yeah.
Like he'd be only a couple games back.
We didn't even talk about like Leone or anything like that.
Yeah, well, the Leon with an E. Oh, he is doing well. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's cool. He's pretty cool.
But yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah.
We haven't
SLC.
even made it
You're sick. Carolina. I feel like Carolina's a little underperforming. Oh, it's because he doesn't have a 5 hitter. He's kind of underperforming a little bit. We can get the big picture.
He just traded. Who's that? Gilmore. He just
traded Gilmore away.
Yeah. And he got.
I mean, Carolina's really trying to stay in the PL for a bit.
He got fucking Njipatala Lokesh, didn't he?
He did get Lokesh though.
He got Lokesh. Ooh. Okay, yeah. This is Carolina super team. This is like a 2078 Mexico City super team. Remember when he had all those crazy cats and he got like Terrell Thomas, like he just went crazy. Yeah, this team's pretty good. Wow.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's just
all right, I guess.
Yeah, he's aight.
Oh my god.
TOC maker.
Yeah, if he makes TOC, no one's gonna want to play him.
Yeah. Dude, you know what makes me happy?
Wow.
The Bob downfall we're all witnessing.
Dude, look at that. That's insane.
These aren't even like
dude.
one, like, I guess some 1-run losses too, but like 8-11 to New York, 2-10 to DC, 5-9 to Carolina. Like, he's suffering some bigger losses too.
Yeah.
Huge, ginormous.
He'll regroup, I'm sure. Check out Rice real quick.
Yeah.
He's
Steve
MVP
Rice.
right
Actually,
now.
wait, no. Not even. Oh wait, I guess yes.
The 191 OPS plus.
Yeah, no, this is 3 WAR.
I mean, MVP favorite
yeah,
right now, right?
MVP
19
favorite.
home runs. Lefty. Jesus.
Imagine
Christ.
if Chicago still had Rice, though. I don't know what Chicago got back, but I mean, that would just be crazy.
Nah, and Flannery's playing insane as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's right by... Like, he has, like, a 0.3 less WAR with, like, 50 OPS plus minus, and he's still, like...
Yeah.
It's just that center field defense is... Garrett Flannery's the best player in the game, I think. Ooh, hopefully he opts out. I want Garrett Flannery. Actually, no, he's going to be expensive as fuck. Yeah.
And then Whitney, just go to last one we got to see is Whitney.
Yeah, Jim Whitney's.
Oh my god.
He's just jimming it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bane, sick. Bane Whitney.
But yeah, I mean,
name.
again, like the top of the PL is crowded. Like you have the top 4 we have right now, and then you also have Toronto. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and then I guess let's see. Who did the best here? It's got to be J Hunt. Oh, Las Vegas. Oh,
I was really high on Vegas.
We all kind of did shit in the PL. We can't really. I mean, we got SL. Me and V got SLC in the 2, correct?
Yeah.
But
we had DC a lot lower and Toronto at the 1.
All right, the best of the rest right now is Galveston. I'm right there behind him.
I really thought Vegas would be a lot better, to be honest.
Yeah, Vegas.
I guess Lions is having a bit more of a down year.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I feel bad. It's just that PL curse, man. Like, I feel like Vegas has gone through this season after season, rebuild after rebuild. Vegas, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It's been like I feel like this is his 3rd time in the PL, and every time his team looks really good, and then it just like the PL hit just sucks. Wait, look at Mike Griffin real quick. Can we see
Carl Cardinal's not even playing well, dude.
Can we see the fall off of Mike Griffin?
Oh Lord,
this is crazy. I feel so bad because he was so good with me.
2 seasons ago, 140 OPS plus.
Or just go to his scouting real
quick. In the PL.
Last year,
he was an
80-80.
He was an 80-80 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And now, he just fell. His eye. Look
oh
at
my
that
god,
one
the development.
Oh my!
Just a crazy TCR.
15i.
I'm so sorry. I'm so glad I traded him away though. Like I didn't expect that to happen, but that's crazy.
Yeah, and
Lions is like finally performing to his ratings.
I told Vegas, I was like, you know what? I can't fault him on this though. I was like, you should probably trade this cat. He's like, I can't. Like, he's too good for me right now. Like, I can't risk losing the production that I got last year.
Yeah,
which I understand.
And when you have like 5 more years of a guy who just won all 3, like the triple, like not even the triple crown, but MVP, Gold Glove, and Silver Slugger all in the same year.
This might be the only time we see this. This might be the only like emblem that he ever
gets.
Yeah, and it's just 1 year. Rip Las Vegas.
And then, I guess we can look at Kentucky if we want.
Yeah, I want to look at Kentucky. We're gonna look at Kentucky. We have
Shelton went down a lot for me. I'm not gonna lie.
We have some cats that are performing. You know, Dave Wilkerson is performing amazing for no reason. Again, Travis Weber, we're gonna look at him again. Dude's playing phenomenal this year, and he just keeps playing phenomenal. He has 8 home runs, which I don't really understand. But you know, he's one of the guys keeping our thing afloat. Blashill needs to do better. Everyone else on my team kind of sucks.
Yeah, Stidler's doing awful.
Stidler's doing horrible, but he'll bounce back. His fielding is just horrible right now. 65 range, I expect more than that. Shelton took a hit. He's in a sophomore slump. I'm not scared about Shelton. He still looks really good, and you know, he's getting that OPS plus back up, which I'm appreciative of. And then Bobby Good, he's Bobby Good. Pitching is mid. Can be better.
Yeah. Fuji will be interesting when you start competing again.
Yes.
And then last team we need to look at right now is Galveston.
Yep. He made a good trade or two. Well, maybe this would. It'll show up next sim. But he made a good trade. I forget what it was, but he bolstered his team a little bit. He picked a few off of Phoenix. His team should be performing better than it is. It's nice to see.
Yeah. It's another PL curse type thing where like all of us, like when we were like, oh my god, this guy is the best outfield in the CBA 2 seasons ago, all sort of regressed a little bit.
Yes.
And then he got to the PL and now it's worse.
Yeah, he used to have this like big three-headed monster in the outfield.
Bill Hines still playing well, but
and
not
just,
what he used to be.
It's really just Hines now, though.
I mean, all of them are performing well, but not to the caliber.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess we all had Galveston mid and a little bit lower because we all saw that hit preseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's really it.
Yeah, moving on. Is there any closure for this?
I guess overall, I expect to see Atlanta rise to the 3 in the BL. I think the SL is going to have the most shakeup, though I do still believe in Boston's team and how it's constructed.
Yeah. Jahan, you got anything?
I guess just mid-season storylines. I'm shocked that Vegas hasn't been doing well in other leagues. I'm also shocked Cleveland has a minus 49 run differential, and I don't know. I mean, all the top teams though we kind of expected, so those are kind of all a hit. Like the top Detroit, DC, and Mexico City. So
yeah.
All right.
It's hard to pick that mid-class.
It's supposed to be a 15 to 20 minute segment turned into 50.
That's okay.
But now we're going to go into draft grades.
All right, the fun part.
Ah! All right. We're starting off Jay Hunt with the BL.
Okay, so I had the BL. So I had the BL. Mike had the SL, and then V had the PL. That's how we did it. So here we go. I ranked them in tiers here. So starting in the D tier, I have Winnipeg and Denver. So I also did these ranking wise. So I had Denver in front of Winnipeg, and we also gave them grades. And I don't think their draft was necessarily terrible. It just these were the 2 autos in the first round, the 3 and 4.
Howell in the 1-4.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel bad grading them so bad because I know that they probably didn't mean to get these autoed, but I like Howell. We talked about how we like Jason Howell. That's his name, right? Jason Howell. but not at the 1-3 or 1-4 or whatever.
I'm gonna go like mid to late first.
And let's have some fun with this one. I'm gonna pop up my head scout because I have really good scouting reports, and I know this will be a little treat for you guys. I know everyone likes to see. What? Everyone likes to see other people scouting on their players. So I mean, like this might be fun for some cats, to see what they look like on other.
But yeah, there's Howell. I really liked the Aborgi pick.
Aborgil.
Yeah, that's one of the. I think I had him more like a D, but I think I passed on Aborgil, and I didn't really notice that like this starting pitching. He'll as a reliever he might go up to like 60, 65, like 65 stuff potentially. And that I think he got him in the late first, and that is
I think second round actually, yeah.
Or sorry, I meant the late second. Got him in the late second, which that was a solid pick. That was one of the ones I really liked.
And then the other one that I really liked was Steve Black in the third.
Honestly, I wasn't a fan of Black, but fair enough. Like I don't really see much. I guess you're picking these guys sort of as
that's
like
not
high
who
ceiling.
I thought it was.
Hey, but that's a really good third round pick.
I have him a little worse. I kind of disagree. His stats aren't very good. I'm
thinking of David League, but you know what? Yeah, I agree. Still a good third.
I just don't really see like this guy ever starting at all. In the BL, you'd probably start him. But
but I guess when you're drafting, you want people who could maybe play in the PL.
Yeah, I
didn't really draft.
I draft more ceiling. I draft ceiling in the later rounds. So yeah, and then Winnipeg here, another auto at the beginning.
Auto.
Yeah,
he autoed all of his picks.
Mm-hmm. I do like Sean Moore a little bit more as an auto pick at that range. But I think Sean Moore, I think we could look back and be like, that wasn't a bad auto. Same with Hal. Hal could end up being like an elite starting pitcher, but Moore has the potentials to look insane. I feel like if he wasn't autoed, he still would have been a mid to late first round pick, kind of like where Ives went. The defense is a lot worse, but it looks like it's in a few years he can be absolutely insane hitting wise. The stats here kind of back it up. So I didn't really hate the Moore pick. Kyle Clutie also was an auto. And
I like Clutie.
Clutie's pretty solid. Yeah, I like Clutie. We'll check out Clutie real quick. The third base defense here is like okay. Maybe 17. Put him in the dev lab. He's 17. Definitely not a bad pick. If I remember, there was just some guys around the range that he was taking that I liked a little bit better, but I do like Clutie. And honestly, like I don't necessarily think that these two had bad drafts, especially because they got autoed. It's just kind of like if you look at every other team, I kind of just like the other team's drafts more. All right. So the C tier, I had Houston and then Minnesota. And this might sound like it's bad, but I actually had these guys having good drafts. It's just like everybody else had like in the BL had really good drafts. So Minnesota and Houston, I gave a B plus and B minus. So I did think Minnesota's draft was a little bit better than Houston's. Houston, the Bruce Milton pick was really good.
Yeah, I think it was great value
Houston,
too.
Houston, I really liked your draft. I really like Chad Porter too.
I like Porter. We talked about Porter.
And Marcus Lilly could be. Solid.
The one thing with Lilly is I thought there were other relievers like Chris Armour around the time that I would have picked over Lilly, and Lilly, just his stats, if I remember, weren't really good. We'll check him out really quick. I like Lilly. I might be a little too pessimistic about his draft, but
like that's the guy who's like we see that DC has, and you're like, how did he go in like the late first, a couple of years ago? And I guess just if he develops.
Look at those dev
reports. Yeah. The development track is really nice.
He's got 3 pitches. Lilly could end up being pretty sick. I just think I liked Armour as a safer pick there. But anyway, yeah, not a bad draft from Houston at all. I actually liked the draft. Minnesota only had 2 picks. So it's kind of hard to grade that. But the main reason I had Minnesota at a B plus and higher was because I was scared that he was not going to take Chris Murray at the 1-3. And I was so happy he took Chris Murray at the 1-3.
My God.
I think Murray could end up being better than... Who was that starting pitcher taking second?
Billy Irvine.
I like Irvine a lot. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's an ace. But I just think Murray has the potential to be one of the best players in the CBA when it all is said and done. Like, Murray, good at everything. We talked about him in the pre-draft. If he fills out even to half of these potentials, he looks insane.
Yeah, we all had Murray going, I think, like in the 1-3 or 1-4 in all of our drafts.
So I'm very glad that he took Murray at the 1-3. That was a great pick. That's just like both had good drafts. Nothing wrong. It's just kind of like where in the tier they fall. Next in the B tier, I had Mexico City and Atlanta. Again, I like the drafts a lot.
What?
This was more because they just didn't have much to choose from, and I just thought other people had better drafts like later in the rounds, like the second and third round picks. Mexico City, I really like the Leclerc pick. I think Leclerc is better than Boswell, who he got in the second round. I
don't like the Horny pick at all. I mean, I understand the name fully.
Yeah,
dude.
But
a guy named Ace Horny, you can't let him off the board. You can't let him go to the fourth round, dude.
Like, this was a second round pick,
yeah,
and
I'm
just not really. I really didn't understand this at all.
I would love to see his scouting.
I think I got a better guy in the fourth or fifth.
Leclerc was taken in the third later, and I think Leclerc looks better. So
it's like the same player.
Contact potential
and Leclerc's got speed and defense.
Yeah.
So a lot of this, honestly, for obviously Kirk, like, it's hard to grade when you have the 1-1 and pick the obvious 1-1. But I think I just had him a little bit lower because I wasn't a fan of the Boswell and Horny picks. And then Atlanta, I had Atlanta an A-. It's almost impossible. He got Grassetti at a great value. Like,
I thought I was going to get Grassetti at the 1-7. That's why I locked in.
We all had Grassetti going a lot higher than he went. So Atlanta did everything right.
Take a look at Grassetti.
Yeah, sorry. I think you guys probably have all seen Grassetti.
Like Grossetti.
But Grassetti looks sick.
Oh my god!
Do you want me to go back to OSA?
No.
Okay.
I'm giving the people what they want.
113 here is like
yuck.
And I think that honestly, this might be new to people because we all requested a scouting report on him and got this May scouting report on him, which put his BABIP up to 60 and his I up to 50. So Grassetti, I can't believe he wasn't taken earlier, and I'm super jealous Atlanta was able to get him like only a few spots ahead of me. So I think he was taken like 113. 113, which getting a third baseman that looks with these batting ratings is insane at the 113. So hats off to Atlanta. You had a great draft. It's just like I had to put other teams ahead because I thought they had good value in the second and third round, and really Atlanta just had someone really good follow him. But again, he took the right player. Okay, in the A tier, I had New Orleans and then Seattle. So Seattle, the third best draft. New Orleans at the fourth.
Not even top two.
I like both of these drafts a lot. So New Orleans had a pretty easy pick with Irvine. It could have been Murray, but I probably would have taken Irvine. The thing I really liked about New Orleans draft was Peckford.
Nate Gorman's not to be skipped over.
No, I'm not. I'm moving there. And then let's see. I had Seattle right here. Seattle had a ton of draft picks. Also gave him an A.
I went pretty aggressive. I had the 4 second rounders, but I traded for the 2-1 and the 2-4 and traded for the 1-12.
I'll talk about New Orleans first, and then
then you can take.
Yeah. I'll say a piece and then go ahead.
Go for it.
So Peckford, he got him I think with the second pick in the second round, which I think Peckford is. I know he's only 15. I think Peckford is going to be insane.
I don't like Peckford that much.
I mean,
was
he's
not a
15.
Fan of the pick when it happened.
He's 15 with these currents.
65 current. Avoid K, dude. Like.
There's a 12-year-old with 75 current power. Like that's just.
And that guy's sick too. Like they're both.
I know, but that's just like OTP being. I can totally see this guy just regressing because he's 15. I'm just not a fan of like when you take someone you kind of want them to you want to know, in the second round or early second round especially, you want to know that they're going to be a stud, and to draft someone like this who could die and not even have the defense to back it up and be playable is a little scary to me.
I think the difference in thought here is I think I can for sure say that Peckford will be a great player when it's all said and done. I mean, it's just hard this fall off. He's had 3 straight years of an average above 400. His ratings already look pretty good as a 15-year-old, and it's just one of those things that, you put him in Yaw, he's going to go insane in Yaw, and then I just see his development track and end up being... I don't know. I like Peckford a lot. I wanted Peckford at the 2-3, and he was taken one spot before me, and I was like, damn, good pick.
Yeah, to your point, one last thing is I think he's one of those guys that I think might exceed these ratings.
I agree. That's where, I think... We'll check out Nate Gorman real quick. Nate Gorman was an 80 potential. He's a fun guy. 70 potential, but I mean, in the third round, you don't hate this pick. If you would have taken him in the second, early second, it would have been okay, that's a bad pick. Bad stats, but a fun player to draft in the 3rd round, nonetheless.
Especially with like how thin catchers are. If he turns out,
and he's got pretty solid defense as a catcher. Not nothing crazy, but so yeah. I mean, Gorman was a solid 3rd round pick. So I sort of just had I thought he had a pretty solid draft. Moving on to Seattle, I'll say a piece real quick, and then we'll let V go. I loved the aggressiveness to get Frank Price. Like we'll check out Price. I was so happy because I think the main thing is if you kind of look at V's team, one of his biggest holes was he needed a shortstop, and he went aggressive and got a really good shortstop at that. So hats off to V for that. I was like when he did that, I was like, that was a great play. One of the things that I'm not as big of a fan as he is on Pos, but this is the difference. Like it's kind of unfair because V is able to tell me why he took these players. A lot of these teams that I'm like, I don't understand this pick. Like, you could tell me why you did it, and it would make with context, everything makes more sense. But like, Pos can't really play the field, and I'm sure V will mention this, but he has a lot of lefties. He needed a righty, so he kind of needed like a righty bat in his lineup. So it makes sense. It was like the early 2nd, right? The first pick. Yeah. It was the first pick in the 2nd round, and I just thought, like, with a guy, I would rather take a guy with a higher ceiling. There was a lot of guys with a higher ceiling than Pos, so that was really the only thing that I was like not a huge fan of Pos. To wrap it up here, I love the Magana pick. Love these 3 pitchers right here, the Magana, Trevino, Johnson. We'll check out Devin Johnson here because he got him in like the mid to late 2nd, and I think Johnson will be. I think he'll slot in as one of V's best relief pitchers right away. So like this, he looks like a really good reliever. So to wrap it up, I would say I love these 3 pitchers that he got here, the Trevino, Johnson, and Magana, and just not a huge fan of the Pos pick. But go ahead, V.
Yeah, so I mean the Pos pick was interesting. I traded up to the 2-1 and the 2-4 just because there was a lot of guys that I liked. To be honest, one of the reasons I went up to the 2-1 was because there was I thought that I could trade with Orlando. I really like Jeremy Young, and he got taken right before. So I was like, if I get the 2-1, but that just didn't end up working out, and I really wanted Jeremy Young. I always liked Pos. I have Pos a little bit better. I completely do understand it, though. My plan with Pos is to play him not in the outfield, to play him at first, where I have 50 range on him. He'll be decent range at first base, which I like just because I have a lot of low stuff, high control, high movement pitchers that I'm planning to bring up. So I completely agree. I mean, I completely see the Pos stuff. I was between him and Malugan. I kind of do wish I picked Malugan now because after the sim that I got Pos, I got a scouting report for Malugan that made him a lot better on my screen. But again, the reason I chose Pos over Malugan in the first place was because of the righty-lefty stuff. Will it matter in 2 to 3 years when I'm in the PL? Probably not. In hindsight's 2020, obviously. So I agree with that. What I really liked about the draft was getting these relievers. I see Ricky Trevino as just a good long relief guy, and I have a lot of high stuff low home runs against in my bullpen currently. So getting someone like Ricky Trevino kind of just even that out. I'm at 40 stuff. Hopefully OSA does too, and hopefully he gets there. So yeah, kind of even that out with a long relief guy. I kind of went for players I can pull up next year for when I can compete, and that's how I sort of made my draft strategy. It wasn't necessarily highest ceiling or best pick. It was more team fit rather than best player available. So I understand why I'm not in the S tier. But yeah, obviously so excited that this guy fell to me at the 1-7. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to get Wortham. And I think he's an instant plug and play at third base for me. And he's going to, knock the cover off the ball. And I'm rarely had a hitter like this. This is probably the best hitter I've ever had in my CBA career. So I'm so excited about him. And then I guess just to wrap it up for me, the other pick I liked getting Mike Fox in the 3rd. I think he's someone in the BL and SL at a 3rd round pick. I can definitely start with that catcher defense if he develops a little bit, and just in case I got another catcher as well. So the plan is I'm going to bring both of them up in spring training and see who does better. But my catcher right now sucks. And in the BL, this guy should like have a positive WAR. So yeah, this is the other guy. I kind of just went with both of them. I don't know. They're copies of each other.
They were my like 2 and 4 catchers. So
yeah,
I like them both.
All right, sorry, Jahan.
No. All right, in the S tier, the 2 teams I liked most were Miami and Vancouver. I gave them both A pluses because I thought they basically took the best player available when they picked. We'll start off with Vancouver. The Barefoot pick was, unfortunately, I feel like Barefoot was in this kind of in the same tier as Samson and Wortham here, but Barefoot just. I feel bad because he wasn't able to get like those elite guys, but Barefoot still. I mean, I guess Barefoot is. Elite.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be insane.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be really good.
God.
Oh.
It's just his.
Who do you want to message?
He can play left. Don't get me wrong. He can definitely play left. No, I mean,
but
Barefoot
left versus
insane.
first base, not too much of a difference.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Barefoot. He looks crazy. So, really good pick with Barefoot.
I was just gonna say, it just kind of sucks that his ratings against left. I mean, he's gross, but there's a pretty big drop off.
I feel like he's one of those hitters where like we were kind of looking at those guys earlier with those splits. I feel like he's still gonna be able to hit really well against.
Like
lefties.
if we didn't see the righty like call and we only saw the lefty call, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's pretty decent against lefties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So no, Barefoot, great pick. He was the obvious choice, I think, where he picked him.
The 1A.
The biggest thing with Vancouver was getting Garski at what?
Sick.
It, 120 something
like that. He was my 1.9.
He was my 1.8, dude.
Yeah,
and
he
like,
just fell.
What the hell, guys? How'd we let this happen?
A plus defender at second with that power and gap is ridiculous.
This is crazy. Like, also, I think my ex got like some a little bit better. I mean, the avoid Ks are a little scary, but everything really, he can run the bases. His college or his 18U stats were good. He's got really good defense.
To who?
There's really nothing other than the avoid Ks that scares you about Garski. I think Garski should be a pretty elite second baseman for years to come. I think Garski could turn out to be the steal of the draft, honestly.
Yeah.
Like one of the best players in the draft and taking that late. Shout out to Vancouver for taking that kind of an obvious pick, but and then the other thing I liked about Vancouver is these 2 relievers he got in the second round.
I'm so mad he got those guys, and I really wanted either one. I wanted one of them after I lost out on Young.
Yeah.
And I thought one of them might be there, but wow. Yeah. I was between Magana and Croft, and I talked to Dustin about it, and Dustin said he liked Croft better than Magana. So
I think you could kind of go back and forth on those two, but I mean Croft's a little bit more filled out. The only thing scary about Croft is he's 22, and if he's not able to get up to if his stuff potential doesn't materialize, he's a good reliever, nothing crazy, but in the early second you can that's fine. Like he didn't take him in the first or anything. And then Romero, I like Romero a lot. Kind of can't believe also another one of those guys that I'm surprised was not gone. Edwin Romero right here. It's I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a good amount of relievers in this draft, like good relievers, and they were all righties. You could not find a lefty reliever. I was looking for them. There was like 8 relievers that went in the first and second, and none of them were lefties. But out of all the relievers, Romero was one of the best. So I think
I have my second best reliever. After
right now, I mean he's the only one right now that that like is ready to go out of all the relievers. Like you can just start him right away. So yeah, I think Vancouver. I think in fairness, like he kind of just had like he made like the good choices, but they were kind of like obvious. Like you want the relievers, you got the best 2. He took Garski where he way late. So good draft from Vancouver. And then the last one here, Miami. He only had 3 picks, but I loved each and every one of these picks. Yeah. He went 10 for 10 on each. So Barclay, I think, fell pretty right.
He got me like the 111. It's around. Like I had him at the 1. I think I had him around there.
I like Barclay better than Milton.
But I had Milton over Barclay.
Yeah, see, that's where like I'm like not proud. I don't know what the word is. I'm happy that he took Barclay over Milton. Just personally, I think Barclay is like if he gets to 60 contact, like just imagine like what his ratings profile will be with like with gaps. It'll be all blue. Like he'll look insane. He's got good speed, great defense. I thought Barkley was a really good pick where he got him. And then Armour, I really like Armour. I think Armour is just a solidified, like, really good middle relief guy. He's not going to be able to be a stop or anything, but, like, he should be a really good middle reliever, you know, like, use more often type. I don't know. I really like Armour. He got him in, like, the mid-second, which I thought was great value. Mm-hmm. And fuck you, Miami, for taking Jim Satudego because I wanted him. I should have taken him. I honestly should have taken him before. I thought he would. We'll do this. I thought he would fall to me like in the late fourth, but I have him looking, I think, a little bit better than this. It's one of those things where, like, if he can get that, look at his pitches. If he can get for a third round pick, if he can fill out this control, maybe get to 40.
It's a great third round.
What?
6 walks per 9.
Yeah, that's definitely something to worry about. I guess they've gone down every season as BBs.
I mean, his current is quite literally a 20.
It's just a guy that in the third round, like, I love this pick. It's just a guy with these pitches that you can be like, he's just a fun prospect to have, and to get him that late, I thought that was a really good pick. But yeah, so these are just my final rankings here. Miami, Vancouver, Seattle, you can read it. I thought these auto picks sucked, but I thought everybody drafted really well in the BL. So hats off to everybody in the BL. You guys had good drafts.
All right, moving on to the SL. I was lucky enough to get the SL. There were quite a few teams that didn't actually have any picks. So Cincinnati, I know you're doing really well. Second in the second in the. I didn't actually have any of these. Second in the SL, doing pretty well, but didn't really need any picks. Same thing with Phoenix. He's just selling. Going right on to D. LA, I did not think. Sorry, Tyler. Did not think you had a very good draft. Chris Wyand, I think, was taken a little bit too early.
Thank you for taking Wyand over Jeremy Young.
And Cancine, right?
Yeah, big appreciate that, Tyler. I had Wyand higher than both of them. I think if you want a second baseman, I really do like Wyand. I understand like the regression aspect of it. He looks like one of those guys who will regress. So I don't know if I like him more than Cancine, but I do like him over Young. So thank you for settling that debate.
Yeah, Cancine was definitely better, and Luke Kauth. I don't think there's much utility in a guy like this, but he's a good hitting profile. Just defense kind of. He's kind of a DH, but moving on to our C's, the middle of the road guys. We'll talk about Orlando first. This is a very good like representation of someone who's drafting for a particular need. Like he really needed pitching. So you can't really fault him on how hard he went on the pitching. But I think the structure should be noted too. Like Sean Monroe, obviously he's high upside because World Cup baseball. Yeah. He looks pretty good. Nick Kenny and Corey May kind of look like the exact same pitchers, and then Jeremy Young is probably the best reliever in the draft. I guess the only issue is you left a lot of really good hitters on the board with what picks that you had. Which is kind of why I put that in the C tier, but is also the reason why I didn't put it any lower. We look at Terry Hancock. He's got good potential. I think he definitely went for those guys with the high upside there in the second round and the third round, like Ezra Helms and Dave Boyer, both good second basemen.
I like Boyer a lot.
I like Helms.
There we go.
Both could be. Like he could be a backup in every single position in the infield, which is always nice to have that utility. And then Ezra Helms, very similar.
Kind of a fun player, honestly.
Yeah.
Just the power is
Yeah, second base, first base, hybrid. He could always turn out pretty good. But again, there were people that were taken below that I think were better.
Really quick, can I just say one thing about Orlando? Just the pitching going off the board. Mm-hmm. So my thing is I feel like if you wanted to, like the way, okay, I get you need pitching, but if you could trade, I know you had the 4 first. You could trade. If you look in the next year's draft pool, there's a lot of really good starting pitching. And I know you may not want to wait, but you could have traded some of those top first for first next year and taken a lot of really good pitching next year. So to me, it just didn't make sense. I thought you left a lot of really good players on the board, and I understand drafting for team need, but I feel like if you want to be a really good GM, like an elite GM, you recognize that next year there's a lot of really, really good starting pitching, and then you can just be like, hey, my picks are on the table for next year picks, and take a shot at that at least. I was just not a fan.
Going off that, obviously, since he had no picks, I wanted to add this, but he has 6 first or something like that next year. So good for Cincy on that. I talked to Orlando when he was making those picks a little bit. His hope with Monroe is that he can develop him as a starting pitcher. So if Monroe does develop as a starting pitcher, I understand it. But I think I was talking to somebody, and he was like, Orlando could have had his 3-4 for the next half decade, and Grissetti and Milton there.
3-4 meaning the batting lineup.
The batting lineup, yeah, and I think that's completely true. I'm not. Again, if you're developing Sean Rowe as a starting pitcher, I don't hate that pick. And I like May where he got him, and I really like Young where he got him. To me, it was the Kenny pick. It was sort of going all in and not taking Grissetti or Milton, in one of those slots.
I feel like,
I do really like Hancock and Boyer. Like those are solid picks there.
If you don't take Kenny there, I feel like Kenny doesn't even Kenny could last till like the second round almost. I mean, I don't know. That was out of all the picks, that could have been one of the most overdrafted players in the draft. And there was a lot of guys taken in like third round that like look very similar, but
yeah,
I like Kenny more, but yeah.
But sorry,
we can move on. Yeah.
All right, moving on to Cleveland. I think he made a very average, decent pick with Dustin Tellman. He looks good. That 70 infield range is great. He'll be a good shortstop. Obviously not a plus defender at short, but he'll be a Gold Glove second baseman if he decides to do that. Decent pick, but nothing special. And then moving on to Indianapolis, same type of thing. 1 pick. Forget exactly what he looks like, but again, good second baseman. I like Tillman about as equal just because of where you got Haskell. He's a pretty good player for the pick that he had. And then same thing with Tillman. Moving right along to my B tier, Boston and Tampa Bay. I really liked Boston's draft. I think he did very good to pick up players that could help his team right now. Joe Davis is going to be a plus defender.
Yeah.
Anywhere that he plays.
Big Joe Davis fan. Want to see him pan out.
Mm-hmm. And he could be a really good shortstop. I think we could see that defensive ratings like this shows that this is going to be a plus shortstop too. And with hitting, that's everything you could ask for. Defense. Mitch Conlon, he kind of fell down the board in the draft this year, but
yeah,
he is just
I like him.
He kind of just is what he is. He'll be a good plug and play. He's definitely going to regress, pretty early into his career, and he's not going to play very well.
First couple of years in the SL, you'll get 2 WAR out of him.
Yep, and then Mike Jarron's pretty good. If he fills out, he'll be decent. Who knows? It's one of those like shot in the dark. Might actually get something with him, especially because he's a lefty. But he's just got to make sure that development stays up on the stamina. But really getting into the heavy hitters, Detroit. Wow, Detroit had a really good draft. Cool, nice. And then Philly had a really good draft too. I think he really managed to make the best out of his 2 picks. Chris Tucker and Austin Russell. I was really high on Chris Tucker. I think he's going to be.
Too.
He's going to definitely be a better hitter. And like he's got that like Lions like 20 something.
Wow. Yeah.
He's gonna be maybe like at the end of the teens, but he's gonna definitely be like somebody that could put up a Lions type season, and being a lefty is fun as well. We see obviously more righties pitching, so he'll have fun with that. And then Austin Russell as well. I think he was a steal. To be that late in the second round, to get him that late in the secgoing round.
He was the last pick of the second round.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's going to be a great platoon first baseman. You're going to be happy with him, and I really like with what he did. But Moving on to last but not least, Detroit. Diego Campos, amazing pick.
Crazy good pick.
Yeah, I can't believe
Campos.
how late he went.
Campos looks like he could be like
One of the best
one
third
of the best
basemen.
third basemen in the league.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yep.
I had Campos going in my early teens, I believe. And
Yep.
Detroit got him a lot later.
I was trying to move up to get either Campos or Garski, so
Those
good
were like
on
the
him.
two best picks of the first round for
Mhm.
sure when they went back. To
And then this is the most polarizing player in the draft.
God,
me and
I
Mike,
fucking hate
me
him.
and
I
Mike
think-
like him. Yeah, dude. Like, how often do you see someone with 70 like contact current coming out of the draft? Like, you see what Detroit did with Nick Uphold, and you
Well,
hope that he somehow performs
the thing
somewhat
is,
up to that.
like where he got him at was completely fair. Like I was even thinking about taking him around the spot where I was like, okay, Burgett, whatever, should go off the board soon here, and he got him at a good pick. I think Mike and V, or maybe just Mike had him at one point in like his top 20 draft picks, and I just was like,
I had him going late first, like
Yeah.
in the mid-20s, I think.
Yeah, and I think the only real crux of it all is just his batting stats in
yeah, that's
in
what scares
college.
me.
But no,
And his
he's
defense, can't.
he's gonna come in and surprise everyone.
So
I
she
think
says he's on Detroit.
people were too scared of the Void K and the I to take him, but he fell a little bit further than he should have.
for sure.
Ben Thrasher, I like this pick too. High upside.
I like Thrasher a lot. Where did he go?
He's young. After Burgett and
Okay,
Haskell.
so like late second, yeah.
And wait, not Haskell. And moving on, Mark Baker. He looks like a very solid pitcher. And then Josh Hogan, I think I remember liking quite a bit as well. You know, if that can turn out, that could be fun. Actually, no, this is not as good as I thought it would.
Well, what
But
was this,
hey,
like a third?
High
Third
stuff.
round pick, yeah.
Third round pick. But yeah, that rounds out my SL. Pretty mid SL draft there.
And now I did the PL. Obviously, being in the PL, you have some guys who just don't have picks because they're going all in. Obviously, one of those guys was Las Vegas, and Carolina also didn't have any picks, though I think he has like an extreme amount of picks in 2086. So that's there. So those are the two guys who no picks in the top 3 rounds. In my D slot, I have just Toronto, and I gave him a D-. Obviously, you know, he only had a second round pick.
But like Suttles, bro.
I hate dude. Even Toronto, he got auto pick Suttles, I believe.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, and he was like, or he got list pick Suttles. He's like, oh, I didn't see that. A lot of my people went. There was a lot better people in the second round. I know he's a lefty, but if this potential doesn't go up, like, he's not really gonna do anything in my opinion.
Be ready for him on the trade block for 2 firsts.
But I mean, obviously, the rare draft misstep, in my opinion, from Toronto. Like, when I saw that, I was surprised myself. Have no joy in seeing that. So, you know, we'll see where that gets them. Obviously, 1 second round pick's not going to make or break a season, so it doesn't matter too much.
If anyone does like him, you should offer him your best 45 potential international amateur because Bob rates them really highly. Because whenever he asks to trade for one of my guys, he offers me 5 of the 45 potential international amateur guys and thinks that is equivalent to like 2 firsts. So okay.
In the C tier, we got. We love you, Bob. But you know,
Not in
we're
trade
not
talks.
we're not gonna be buying anything from Canada soon. So you're chilling up
Tariff.
there. was that 4th tariff joke in this podcast? All right.
Drink.
And the C tier, I got Chicago with the B- draft grade and SLC with a C+ draft grade. I guess we can go to SLC first. I like Tickles is fine. You know, he's grimy and shit.
Grimy dick.
Where was he taking the?
He was the 128, I believe. And the thing with Tickles is like, you know what you're getting from him, but he's like Conlon, who went a lot later.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it as a first round pick. I can understand it. But with this, like, as a lefty,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? That's pretty solid. He can hit both.
That's why.
Yeah. And then the pick I did like the Adorno pick.
Really?
But
I think Ordonez pretty.
I think Adorno's solid, don't get me wrong. And if you look at his ratings, like, against lefties, he's already supposedly mashing a little
He
bit.
could be fun.
But I guess where you had him as a first baseman, I know he could probably play second, is why I think you drafted him over someone like Malugan. But if you're drafting him as a first baseman, which obviously, as Jay Hunt said, I don't know the context, I think there are a couple better players there, so that's kind of the reason why I had that. And then we could look at Hutchings real quick. Another, I think, fun sort of catcher. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think OSA really liked him. Yeah, OSA is just in love with this guy.
He's Swiss cheese though. Can't block a single thing.
Yeah, can't block a single thing.
Can't really play catcher at all, so it's kind of like, I guess you stick him in the dev lab.
Not like Mike is a hockey goalie, so. But, the other thing is, like, you want to see his power develop, but 87 OPS plus and 14 new with a 310 average doesn't really a lot to that too much.
This is the type of shit you spend a third rounder on.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's why I gave it the C+. Late firsts, early seconds, I guess, somewhat. But I think there were a couple better players. And then going to Chicago, only had one pick, and it was Garza in the third round, so kind of hard to... Oh, okay, that was a bad idea. Armando. Kind of a bad sort of way to think, but I think he's a decent third rounder. I don't see him doing anything much in the PL. I don't see him doing much in the PL, but if he fills out, he definitely could. And
it's
if
a good
not,
third-round pick,
good third-round pick. And if not, like in trade talks, he's worth more than a third if you have him in trade talks. So you know what, like that's why he got the B-. Like nothing special, but with a third-round pick, he did the most that he could for sure. In the B tier, I have Galveston and San Diego. Galveston, I gave a B+ grade to, and San Diego, I gave a B+, another B+. We'll go to San Diego first because that's easy. He only had the one pick in Joel Stamper's. I wasn't as big of a fan as Stamper where he got him at like the 17, but I obviously like so much to be excited about here. Like an insane amount to be excited. You saw like when he drafted him, there were like 2 to 3 people in general going like, wow, like what a great pick. Like I really like this guy. If he fills out, he's 17, which is like sort of perfect for the 70 power potential there. And he's 17, so perfect for like the 4 years of development before you bring him in, and it looks like 3 to 4 years is what he might need. So I think he also had a good decent development track.
His
as well.
hitting stats are insane too.
Yeah.
Check
so B+ there, maybe a B, but still in that B tier. And then Galveston, you could argue this is A tier if you want. Yeah. I don't hate that. Obviously, I've said it in the last podcast and this. I like Hopkins. That's not the right one.
What the? Wait. That guy's. He had like 35. He had like it was Justin Hopkins. Jeff Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
Like 40. What?
He might be a guy to look out for.
Weird.
But yeah, Jeremy Hopkins is the one we're talking about.
Lucifer.
I think he's a plus second baseman. I think his hitting, if he develops, will be also really good. Great hitting stats in college. Good base runner overall. Obviously a great prospect. Perfect age to like couple years, bring him up, maybe even 1 year. So again, plus second baseman. This was a really infield rich draft. And I think you can even say he got value where Galveston got him because there were so many infielders. So not a bad thing. Steve Reidenborough was my number 2 catcher, so I do like this pick actually. Jesus Christ, that's not going to get anywhere. He looks to be a good catcher, great defense, and if he fills out, he could really be one of the best catchers in the game with how thin catching is right now. And again, what I like is how he has this sort of track where like 19 years old in his first round pick, 19 years old in his second round pick, same sort of development with a year or two, so he can pull these guys up for the same time and have that sort of like big impact in that year they bring him up. So I do like that. And then Steve Harvey, obviously, sorry Austin for not making a Steve Harvey reference in the last podcast video. That's on us. But what I remember from Steve Harvey is why I think I made you a B+ instead of an A-. Not the hugest fan of this guy, to be honest. Like 99 fit minus. I know he had a great other year, but
he's a lefty. He's that elusive.
But again,
lefty
another
that was talking about.
19, elusive lefty, sure. But another 19-year-old, which I think is really good. If that stuff fills out 15, sure, I'm wrong.
But that's a big
if. Something I thought was interesting, and something, I don't know, I'm probably reading way too much into it, but a 15 stuff boost and like a 5 movement boost should give you some more overall, but according to this, like he's good. Like this is where he's going to be. If he only, like my thing is if he only gets to like 55 more stuff, If he only gets to like 55 more stuff, then I don't really see it.
The control seems to be a big difference with those two, right?
Yeah, but like obviously, like this is gonna play well. Like that's what I was trying to say. Is like, of course,
There's
I had
a
him as
20
specialist.
stuff difference right now.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
that's
say
crazy.
Like,
But still.
you don't know if the stuff potential, like, it's just a little.
And I don't know where he got him in the second. I don't know what relievers were left. But B plus definitely could argue A though. Overall, a really good draft by Galveston. In the A tier, I have DC alone.
Roberto Gomez.
Yeah. So
What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know how we let DC get Roberto Gomez. He's gonna turn out to be an 80-80 at some point.
For real,
honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I think I would switch Galveston into A and maybe DC into B. But the reason I had DC in A minus is that because I think he had the best pick in the third round and a player who was better than a second round pick. You see Roberto Gomez here, like insane defense. If he can fill out like even 5 in contact, 5 in power, like. He's someone who can play with elite defense in left or right, someone who can be a positive WAR player. And I think I just put emphasis on DC and Mark being the GM of this guy more than like anybody else. And I just know that if he's on Mark's team, for whatever reason, he's going to put up like a 3 WAR in the PL.
Coaching, it's just he's gonna fill out those potentials.
But the reason I didn't have him in S tier with how good of a pick that was is I think this guy's better than, it could be my scouting, but I think he's better than Tony Garcia. Who we got in the second, to be honest. So, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the second round pick. Obviously, this would have been like equivalent to an early third. So, if you want to put it that way, there's also that perspective. But again, if he this guy for me needs to fill out fully, and that just really never happens, especially with a 21-year-old. So we'll see. That's why I had DC in my A tier. A lot of Mark bias and some more bias here, as you guys will probably hate me. But I have Kentucky and New York as my only S tiers. Kentucky, I gave an A, and New York, I also gave an A, as they're sitting right beside me. Kentucky, Kentucky is why I had him at my A, even though I'm not a huge fan of the second round pick, is where he got Sampson and Dan Richards was extreme value. We'll look at Sampson real quick. I think best catcher in the league just coming in. And coming into a PL team is insane. This is crazy. Great defense, a plus hitter, a plus hitter at catcher, and even if Mike wants, maybe a Gold Glover at first. So you also have that option.
Go to his ratings again. Oh, I thought he had 65 infield range, dude.
But yeah, I mean, getting this guy at the 1.6
1.6
is crazy. And then I really like Jay Hunt said, he liked my aggressiveness to get Frank Price. Really like the aggressiveness to get Dave Richards. Dan Richards. I made that mistake so many times looking this guy up. Having a nickname like Sabretooth is going to get you far in this league.
Hey, shout out Buffalo Sabres. Big 2 wins, past 2 games.
But, I mean, we all had this guy sort of late, mid to late first, and the late sort of teens. But yeah, as always, he's a lot better. And... where'd you get him, Mike? The 120,
late.
Yeah, so as someone who sure he's an average second baseman, but not someone who if you're competing want to play at second. It'll be no matter what.
80 out of 80 first base defense is all I care about.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a great pick. And not too much of a fan of Mike Anthony, but I'll let Mike take the reins for a second.
Yeah, I was about to say I need to talk about Mike Anthony if you don't like Mike Anthony. And I think you did well. Mike Anthony, the reason I took him is because he is extremely high upside, and he backs it up by his development report. This is really the biggest reason. He just dev'd really, really well this year, or last year and early this year as well. I really like this track. I think he's going to be a good defender too, and I think sitting there on whatever youth team that has the best coaches, he's going to be on, and he's going to do well. 377 average is crazy. That contact boost goes up. I'd like that power to get up to 55, but I like him. I think he's a fun
Anthony
upside pick. But
But yeah, so that's why I might get A was really that first round and that value he got there and getting the best catcher in the league at 3 picks maybe below he should have gone and getting a really good hitter like in the late first who can be a good PL hitter is pretty crazy. And then we go to Jay Hunt, who had a plethora of picks. And obviously there's going to be some bias here because we all did our rankings together. We all have sort of the same mindset. But I think getting, like, I'll let Jay Hunt take the reins for, in a minute. But we never thought that McKinney would fall to the 115 and Concien would fall to the 119. I'm not as huge of a fan of Bates. I do really like him. I think Jay Hunt got him where, like, Bates should have gone. But I like his aggressiveness at getting his guy. That's why you have the draft capital that you have to go get your guys. I really like Malugin as an early second. Where me and Jay Hunt's philosophy sort of differ a little bit is like he went with a really, really high upside guys, which I guess with those amount of picks, that's what you do, and you hope 1 or 2 of them turn out to be like PL powerhouses, so you just take those chances. But someone like Dennis Walburn, like you never know. But again, like with the amount of seconds you have, I think it's a great strategy. So I think Jay Hunt drafted like phenomenally well, got some great value, but I don't want to go too long because I know he's going to want to talk about his pick, so he can go for it.
Yeah, I had a lot. I guess like we probably all see. I think McKinney should be my cornerstone, like left or right fielder. Cancine, I'm worried about his defense, but the hitting just off the charts. I love Bates. I'm scary against the lefties could feast off of him, but I think he's a starter. I kind of want to talk about some of these real quick, just some of these second round picks. So I thought where I got Malugin.
Yeah, big Malugin guy, yeah.
Switch
Huge.
hitter, like this, like come on guys. Like I don't know. He just 21, if he fills out even like 5 of these anymore, like he could be like one of the better first basemen in the league, and I might be biased, but I mean for an early second, I thought that was really good value. More of a lefty than a...
Only reason I took Pass over him, but again, I kind of regret that now because I just got the scouting report.
Yeah, I mean, 60 current at 21. He just turned 21, so like a 20-year-old with this current power in a void case. I just like this archetype. I was very happy to get Malugin. And then, yeah, Walburn, I got him in like the mid-second, which just like high floor. Durham, same thing, just like this. Hicken probably like was an overdraft for me, I'll admit that. But the reason I took Hicken, which I probably could have gotten in like the 3rd round, was I don't know if this is updated, but I love this dev report. I love this. And I was just thinking like, you know what, like the fact that he seems like OTP's like boosting this guy. Like what are they doing with him? Like what tricks up your sleeve do you have, OTP, for Eric Hicken?
Yeah,
and
but
like
he's so unclutch. Look in the playoffs, he just absolutely got fucked by Mississippi. Wait, Mississippi?
Mississauga,
Yeah. Mississauga.
The
Squires.
But I don't know.
All that travel. Imagine having to travel from Edmonton to Toronto. Like that'd be fucked.
I just really liked how he seemed like he was, and if you like set him to if you set him to this scouting, like he looked like shit kind of here, and then just like randomly they were just like, boom, this guy's gonna be a beast. But I don't know. I took it. I knew when I took him, I was like, no one's probably gonna take Hicken. I just didn't want someone to take him and be like, fuck, I should have just taken him earlier. The defense is but maybe like DevLab, we'll see. Just like 2 more guys that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Ramos and Valenzuela. So I also was pretty happy to get Ramos. I think I might have taken him a little too early, but with how bad the pitching was this draft, I thought I got possibly
with that control.
I thought I got possibly like one of the better pitchers in the draft at a late 2nd round pick. Oh, he added
a change up to his repertoire.
Yeah, so he was a reliever, and then now so I don't know. I thought the ceiling on this guy could be for like a late second. Could be like he's a fun guy to add.
Dude, he's a late first.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to. Yeah, you guys like my draft, huh? No, I'm just playing.
Bro, you're in my S tier.
I'm sorry. I'm just no. I was happy with the 35 stamina, blah. But I don't know. I like Ramos, and then Valenzuela. I like this guy more than these 2 do.
No, okay. The only reason
bad.
I took the other catcher over Valenzuela is because I just assumed he'd be off the board by the time I was on.
Fair enough.
I dislike him.
I just like what you can't
lot.
find many catchers in the league with like a batting against like righties. Like he'll only be good against righties, but like a high contact catcher like those guys you drafted. I was kind of scared. The 2 catchers V drafted.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of scared because they had like low contact, and I just wanted a guy that at least can hit like. I've had bad catchers over the years. I wanted someone who could at least hit like 250 that played catcher. His defense isn't good, but
Can't play catcher.
yeah, I mean, I have him.
That's the difference.
I have him a little
between-
higher. I have him at like 50 or 55 arm.
Mm.
I know he's not going to be a great defensive catcher. I'll just stick him in the dev lab and play him there, honestly. But I mean, again, it was like a late 3rd round pick, so yeah, whatever. But yeah, I thought overall I picked some high potential guys, and I was extremely these 4 like McKinney to Malugan and the 2 guys in between. I was super excited about. So. Yeah, I thought I had a pretty good draft. I'm glad that V also thinks that.
Obviously, let me know if I have too much bias in these tiers. I guess the only thing I would change is Galveston would be in my A tier for sure. Now looking back at it, but other than that, I think I got everything kind of set.
But yeah, that concludes this week's episode. Next week we'll get more into specifics of particular teams and how they're constructed and how their seasons are going. But yeah, that was our little preseason prediction rewind, going back, looking at those, and then our draft grades. So thank you guys for listening. Again, let us know what you guys want us to talk about as well. Let's get some more interaction on this YouTube page.
Well, we talked for 2 hours.
We understand. Shit. But also, let us know if we have ideas, because after this draft now, like we went preseason to draft grades, there's no other really topics other than to do what we did for the first sort of 50 minutes of this podcast. And doing that every week, it may get a little bit repetitive because we'll be clicking on the same players, a.k.a. Cody Weiss. So... Let us know if you guys have anything.
Yeah, we could do something fun, change it up. Look at maybe like one episode, do like the history of the CBA. Just like, I don't know, check out some fun things. I don't know, just mix it up. But whatever you guys have in store, we should do an episode just talking about like all
Cody
the teams.
Weiss.
But
yeah, we could probably spend an hour.
But we also, I apologize for yapping for so long. I doubt you listen to this. We'll try to. We always say we're gonna make it shorter, but we end up just yapping.
Yeah.
So apologies about that. But I hope you guys find it somewhat entertaining if you actually listen.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks guys.